This video is sponsored by TradeCraft. Create your tags, tag your trades, store your recordings, create screenshots, and look at your statistics. You have the ability to create statistics using several widgets. You're able to place them wherever you please, having a place where you can store all your playbook trades, and you can quickly flip through them, studying all your trades. TradeCraft is more than a journal. It is a tagging software that allows you to create the statistics you need, where you have the ability to filter your trades out on an extremely deep level, allowing you to figure out exactly where your edge might be. For more information, check out the link in the description of this video or visit tradecraft.club.
What is up, everybody? TradeCraft is going to have a sale for 4th of July. Link in the description. I think the code is like Independence or some shit. I don't know. One of my guys set it up. So FYI, sup, dude? What's up, everybody? I was actually on the futures desk live stream today, so I'm wearing the same fucking shirt. In this episode, I want to talk about checklists and system building. I thought about talking about why traders fail, but I think that's actually be a good video. I want to go over some trades in this video. I have another actual YouTube video that's going to roll out where I go over a trading session. I want to go over more trades. I just feeling it. All right. So we're not going to talk about psychology and all that bullshit today, or why traders fail. Okay, so let's talk about the prop firm, which I have not talked. Here's the thing. Traders know why they're failing, but they continue to do it. That's the thing. I don't know. If you look on Reddit, there's a lot of people that don't seem to know what the fuck is going on. I would say there is definitely a good portion of traders who know why they're failing, and they just continue to do it. I will agree that there are a large amount that are doing that. How do they fucking fix it? Well, that's a whole nother fucking can of worms. So, I want to talk about the prop firm. Just get into the comments here. I haven't talked about the prop firm in a while. I moved, went on vacation. Chronic, who is a prop trader I've been talking about for some time, went on vacation. He's still not blown up his account. It's been alive forever. It's 6 months at this point. We had to put him on a tactical pause because we started to realize if I'm not trading with him, he doesn't quite have edge. He's having a hard time finding setups, getting in the setups by himself. There was a whole slew of other psychological issues we had to clean out. I've talked about them in other live streams. We had to do parts integration because part of him felt like a quitter. Part of him wanted to succeed. Ever since that's happened, he's been in really good spirits for over a month now. So we're finally back on it, doing a grind. He traded today, but he's going on vacation again. He did well. So he's down to 1 micro on his futures desk account because that's who my money partner is for this. Again, was on the show today. He's on a micro because the account is close to blowing up. And what he's going to do is he's going to stick to 1 micro for a couple weeks, 2 weeks, and then he's going to get bumped up. I might bump him up a little more aggressively. I also talked to the futures desk about allowing me to get more control over their accounts. Another one of my traders I don't talk about enough, Miller. He was about to pass his account, beautiful equity curve, had surgery, traded the next day after surgery, fucked up, traded the next day, and then for like a week straight, he was just blowing this account. So I don't know what got into him. I was asking him. There seemed to be a mental shift something was going on. I don't know if part of him didn't feel ready to like live trade and he just self-sabotaged himself. I think some traders do that. So as far as Chronic goes, he did well today, and he did well Friday on a drill. And what we've been doing is going through a checklist procedure. I want to share that. I have a video. Let me actually pull it up here. I made this video some time ago. Actually, let me. I'll go ahead and do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull it up. It is Fat Cat, my trading system. Fat Cat, my trading process, or some shit like that. Let's pull that up for you guys. There is no Tarukan cam, by the way. So if we go to the channel, it's this one here, How I Make Trading Decisions. I had a flow chart in that, which I will show you right here. So I had a flow chart. A lot of people wanted it, and this is basically my trading system. So we've been building it for TradeCraft, and it's in there. It's still a work in progress. However, using this process, the checklist process, has been very beneficial. It's been very fucking interesting. One thing that I notice across the board with traders is clarity. And I talked to the futures desk about this because after we did our big old interview or whatever, we bullshitted for a couple hours and we were talking about traders. They also coach traders as well at a different level than me because I'm like with two guys. They're doing a bunch, right? So we're kind of sharing notes on what works with traders, what doesn't, because quite frankly, there really is no resource on how to get a trader good. As a coach, that material doesn't fucking exist. So one thing that I talked about with them was a clarity tag. And it was amazing how many people were kind of coming through the chat that they don't review or they don't really know what's going on in their trading. And God bless the new traders' souls because, like, somebody, and I don't know if you're in here or not, but somebody's like, how do I use a profile to make high probability timing decisions in NQ? How do I do that? It's like, well, fuck, dude. That is a black and white answer, and there is no, you just do this. That's a big problem in trading is a lot of people are like, well, how do I know when to go long or short in the order flow? It's like, well, that's not how that works. First and foremost, you really never know. We'll address the how do I know part. We'll address the speculating about the future part. We'll go over my system, my edge, some more in this. But a lot of traders are just, I've already done a live stream on this, the 50 Shades of fucking Gray. There is no black and white. So one thing that's universally hurting traders is, let me find it. Give me a second. Give me a minute. Give me a fucking minute. Where the fuck is it? Yellow star. This one. Clarity versus confusion. Universally, I'm going to take the markers off. So universally, and I need to get rid of my fucking head. How do I do this? Universally speaking, out of me and 5 other traders who are taking the same exact tag set, clear, confused, and in between, all of us are having the same P&L curve. If we're clear about why we're taking the trade, it just does better. If we're confused, we all have negative expectancy. And in between is kind of in the middle. Let me come back. Okay. So universally, it's not the highest sample rate, but this right here, clarity, is the big one. On the TradeCraft blog, I talk about this. On my Twitter, I talk about this, or X. Clarity is everything. And if you just have no idea what the fuck is going on in the markets and you take a trade to relieve that discomfort, that's not good. Also, another thing that I think is a cause for a lot of failure in trading is I don't think we're wired to do this. Like, we are risk-adverse creatures. That's how we evolved. We don't go fist fight bears in the woods, right? We don't. Some of us are more risk-seeking, right? But I don't think our brains are wired to do this job, and you just have to change. So let's see. Like oversizing, not respecting, stop, cutting winners for no reason, etc. List goes on, and I've been there. We're listening, FC. Don't let us distract you. Yeah, so, yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to traders. Sometimes it's like childhood fucking trauma that's causing some problems. So when it comes to clarity, how do you get clarity? How do you boost clarity? And we've been working on this system builder. I want to show it. It's been working really well for Chronic, and myself included. He's only used it for 2 sessions. And his system is much like mine. So if we go to the checklists, it's in here. So you can see it's like that flow chart. It's a little bit different. We got my time frames, 30-minute, 5-minute, 30-second, 10, and 1 second. Time frames. Now, we're still working the bugs out on it, but we have channels. So if you've watched one of my older live streams, I talk about how price action, that's how I trade. It's been price action. It's always been price action. I am confused with the order flow guy because I've done so much fucking order flow content. I like to look at the order flow. It's a good weather report. However, it's price action. And I like smaller time frames. I do believe smaller time frames have cleaner patterns. They're a little bit less noisy. And I know that seems insane. It's like, 1 second chart, that's a lot of noise. Well, the ranges on a small time frame like that are typically cleaner. Channels are typically cleaner. The smaller reclaims typically are cleaner. And when you have less distance, like less time and less distance up and down, it's just easier to guess the future. Like, the longer, and I have a video on YouTube, I think it's called Stop Forecasting. I mean, you're going to forecast, right? The problem is the more time goes on, the more the price action can do random shit. The further you're trying to look up or down the chart vertically, the more random shit the price action can do. On that small time frame, that 1 second, 30 second, that price action, those little patterns, they're cleaner. For me, they're easier to guess. Speculating what might happen in the next few seconds is easier than speculating the next 30 minutes. In the next few seconds, I'm going to talk about the next few seconds. Do you see what I'm saying here? So you can guess what I might be saying in the next few seconds. But trying to figure out where we're going to be in this stream in the next 5 minutes, it becomes substantially more difficult. How's this stream going to end an hour from now? Is it going to go for an hour? Is it going to go for 2? I don't know. But for the next few seconds, I'm going to talk about the next few seconds. And that's easier to guess and predict. It's interesting. There's a documentary called Money Bots, and they figured out how to calculate roulette wheel spins. And what would happen is they had a machine, and it could guess where the ball would land. But it was only after the roulette was spinning and the ball was bouncing, and it would run that calculation after it was all going, because it was It was calculating how fast the spin was, the trajectory of the ball, all of that. It couldn't guess. It's not going to guess it before you spin. So I think the same principles happen in trading. Also, I'm a firm believer of multiple factors of support, multiple time frames, and getting multiple factors of support on the multiple time frames. That's like some old school shit, but I really think it's that simple, but it's not that simple, right? Getting multiple time frames, which we'll run through some scenarios here, getting the multiple time frames to align in some way, and getting more long signals through little patterns that seem to be reliable, those tend to be the best trades. I'm gathering statistics on that as we speak, but that for me is a lot of the backbone of the trading system. And it is my belief a lot of the patterns are fractal. You get a range on a 30-minute time frame, you get a range on a 4-hour time frame, you get a range on a 1-second time frame, you get a channel on each of these time frames. And it just, when it all kind of fits, it seems like the trades are just better. And the narrative's better, and I have more clarity on the trade. And my trading has been doing rather well since using the checklist as of Monday last week. I use a lot of market structure and ranges on the second time frame. Works great. Good to hear, man. I just think it's less noisy. Because a range on a 30-minute time frame, it gets real sloppy. It just doesn't cleanly traverse from one side to the other, and something can happen. And then when you're playing that time frame, you might have to fucking take 10, 15 points of risk just to get it to fucking work out, because you get this unexpected EV shift where the price action does some goofy shit you didn't expect. So coming back into the checklist, channels. So we have channels up. So these are going to be channels going in an upward fashion. Let me actually just sort of draw. Hopefully it shows up here. So it would be channels going up. So SGU, I call it a struggle grind up and then down. It's channels that break down after it's going up. Then you have channel up, and then it breaks up and keeps going up. Then you have channel down like this, and then it breaks down. So in that red right there. And then you have channel down, break up. Oh, cool. And it actually showed up. All right. So that's what these are. So is it reliable? So interestingly enough, channels on a 1-second chart, even 30-second chart, like these up channels that break down, there are days where that pattern keeps repeating and they are reliably breaking down, every single one of them. This is why I like trading later in the day, because I can see if that pattern's been reliable throughout the session. So is it reliable? Now if I'm getting a channel going up and it's breaking down and it's breaking up, it's not reliable. If it's been reliable, it's going to say reliable and it's going to say short. Now, I don't take a short. This is how my checklist flow kind of goes. Now, if it's been reliable and then all of a sudden there's a CIC, which is change in character, something happened. If these channels keep breaking, they go up, break down, go up, break down. If one of them happens to shift character and it goes the other way, that's a change in character, so possible long. And if it starts flip-flopping, then it kicks back to not reliable. So this sort of workflow goes across all of them. I can just run the flow chart to show you. Again, we're cleaning this up. I'm working with it every day, and there's like, ooh, this kind of sucks. This sucks. We need to fix this. This is good. I like this. So we have, where is it? Channel, 1 second channel, and let's say we're looking at a up move that is going down. It would be this one, and it's telling me short. I would get rid of that. Let's assume these over here are not reliable, so we'll get rid of that. So we're not going to use this type of channel. I will use this. So now I got to so this specific checklist, and that's the point of this video, is checklist. And there's a reason for that. So this is telling me short. But I want multiple factors of support on multiple time frames. I don't want to just go short because that says short. I want to make sure I'm seeing a lot of this. Now, the reason this checklist is so good is if we go in here and we'll just do it in here. This is fixated on an idea, by the way. This is a statistic for when I get married to a trade scenario. You can see that's killing me. However, let's get rid of that. There's a tag I've been tracking called I didn't see this pattern. So as I've been reviewing, oh, give me a second here, boys. As I've been reviewing, and I've been reviewing all my sessions for some time now, I got real complacent. We started building this journal, and I'm like, well, instead of reviewing bad days, I might as well review all the good days too. And I did, and I have been. I noticed in my review sessions, there was something I didn't catch. A pattern I didn't see, or I didn't run through a procedure. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't check the higher time frame, or I stop looking at patterns throughout the session and seeing if they're changing characters. So not seeing certain patterns because I'm just not looking is one statistic, which is killing me. 42 grand on that son of a bitch on a 32 trade sample size. Let me actually pull that up so you can see it. It's kind of a newer tag that I've been tracking, so not catching a pattern is killing me. And then also, let's see, not gathering information. This is like not going through a checklist procedure. And this is also killing me as well, minus 23 grand on a 31 sample size. So this not gathering information might be married to some of that other tag, like those two tags I just showed you. Some of the trades might be both of those. So that's fucking killing me. And I remember doing like a interview with Corbs a long time ago. I talked a lot about meditation, and Merritt roasted me on Twitter, and he's like, oh, you meditate fucking 23 hours a day, but you don't even have a checklist system. I was a little upset, but he made a good fucking point. And I've never really ran a full-blown checklist procedure. It's all been kind of up here. But I'm telling you, now that I'm doing it, and it's taken like 30 minutes when I sit down to run through every time frame, the amount of fucking clarity I have to take the trade is substantially boosted. And it goes back to that tag set I was talking about earlier called clarity versus confusion. There's something about running that procedure, and you don't just checklist once. You know, the price action's changing on the 1 second, so I'm flipping through that checklist multiple times over. Running through that procedure, again, just boosts the clarity substantially. And I remember last Tuesday, which would be the second day I was using this checklist, and we'll go through it some more. The checklist had a bunch of dissonance. Some of it was saying long, some of it was saying short. I'm like, I don't fucking know what direction it's going, and I should be scalping if I'm going to get into any trade. And I had a losing day. last Tuesday. So what was interesting is like, shit, dude, I knew like pretty early on in the session, maybe after the first or second trade, that the day had a lot of dissonance. And the checklist was telling me how fucked up it would be. Now, obviously, my system, which is a lot of it's in here, it's hard to retain all that. Like these little nuances and rules and stuff. That's why I like this building it node style, which I said we were going to fucking do this a long time ago. It's here. We're trying to get it to work well. And in practice, it doesn't quite do what my vision was. You know what I mean? It's like, this is kind of a little sloppy. We need to clean this up. I'm having problems with that. But what it does is it has questions. The boxes that are solid are questions. The dotted boxes are answers. So when you run through the flow chart, 1 second, let's take a look at the channels. The channel up downs, which would be this one. It's reliable. So it only leaves the answers right here. So it's building a narrative, which is pretty fucking cool. So it's like 1 second channel. For example, we could be in a trend. What kind of trend? It's traditional. It's to the long side. And then all of a sudden, we need to start the path over. We're in a range. It's a model range. Was there a measured move? No, it failed. It's churning. Is it range expansion? So what's cool is I'm designing mine to do this if-then statement. And these paths sort of split off. Like, hey, this is starting to happen. And then it kind of forks off and is telling me what's going on. So range expansion. I have a video called Market Mirage. It's like a thumbnail of me crawling through the desert. That video talks about range expansion. Range expansion basically is when you have a range and it looks like it's breaking out, but it doesn't quite break out and it doesn't quite come back in. Chances are that's going to morph into a bigger range. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, Fat Cat, what's up? Just tune in. Having a hard time with the summer markets trading NQ. Fuck, man. What is that crown? How did you do that? If you've never traded all-time highs in the summertime, welcome. This is also another reason why a lot of traders fail. Which this episode's not supposed to be about. Until you've gone through this and figured it out, whatever was happening before this, whatever, maybe you were doing fine when the volatility was higher, but now we're at all-time highs in the summertime. If you've not experienced it, how can you be good at it? It's kind of like farming. The first year, the crops are fine. The next year, there's a fucking drought. Well, shit, I wasn't prepared for that. The third year, I might be ready for that. Right? It's the seasons of trading change, man. And when I was on the futures desk today, it feels like you're not making progress, and you might not be making progress. Let's face it, you got to do the fucking work. You've got to do the fucking work. The worst thing you guys can do is sit there and wonder why, but not have a way to fix it. Yeah, you need to be good at trading. You need to have edge, but the other part of the job nobody is fucking talking about, and you would think they're talking about it because I'm going to tell you guys this shit. When I first started looking at trading content, 2012 and then 2016, it was not as shitty as it is now. It was all technical stuff, very nerdy, kind of like my channel, and then it turned into some fucking influencer reach around, jerk around fest. like to talk shit about my fellow influencers, but god damn it, the content. I don't watch trading content anymore. I haven't for some time. But when I do, it's like, it's not the same when I started. It used to be just technical shit. Technical, technical, technical. Now it's shifted so much. And you would think you could find everything on the internet for free, but it's too much information. It's conflicting information, and nobody's really telling you fucking guys what it fucking takes. Like when I found S&B Capital, they were the only ones talking about, hey, you need a journal. Make a fucking playbook. And I'm like, holy shit. Maybe if I do all this work, I'll get better. Nobody else was talking about that shit. And the thing is, if you're sitting there going, well, I don't know why this is happening. I suck in the summertime. You got to do something about it. If you just jumped in, are you trading confused or clear? You can use a fucking spreadsheet. I don't care if you use this journal, another journal, whatever. Do something. I used to do emojis. I think there's a free version. You can get 3 tags, and you don't need like a email or anything like that. It might give you some annoying pop-ups every now and then, but it's a way for you to track confusion and clarity. Do that. It's low volatility. You need to start trying to figure out exactly what the fuck's going on. Wondering why and not doing anything about it is killing you. It's killing you. And then we're talking about checklist here. This can be very beneficial as well. Let's see. Do you still use correlations? I don't, but I still think they're valid. What the fuck are these crowns you guys have? I think correlations are still very viable. It's just the workload to keep up with them can be tough. But I don't use them now. I was using them when there was like the volatility was dog shit. You think this volatility, this market regime is bad? Man, dude, there was a point. It wasn't too long ago. Definitely over a year or so ago, but it was like fucking, 13 or some shit? VIX. It was bad for months and months. So when I made all those correlation videos, it was helping. Then volatility starts coming in, and it's like, oh, it's too much to track. So it's been just ES. I do believe in correlations, and the thing about it is, like, man, and I've had footage on it. There would be a point where Russell would sync up with ES. NASDAQ and ES are like sisters. I like it when the correlations are just different enough. Like, even looking at Amazon and NVIDIA was very helpful. Apple didn't influence ES as much as, like, NVIDIA did. Amazon and NVIDIA seem to have a lot of influence. But not all the time. They would disconnect. But you got to think about it from this perspective. The dollar affects gold. Bonds affect ES. ES affects bonds. Interest rate, all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Certain sectors affect other sectors, certain products. And there's some arbitrage shit going on. I think the market as a whole is one giant entity. And we might have talked about this in the last stream. But it is my belief that it's kind of like when you get a solar eclipse, right? It's not often the moon and the sun align with the earth, right? I feel like when that happens, you get really good moves in the market. When I get these multiple markets aligning on multiple time frames that do correlate at times, those tend to be really good trades. The problem is I need some form of automation to track these fucking patterns. And there's something called Yellow V8, which is like a neural net, and somebody has used it to track head and shoulder patterns on a chart. But that's sort of like down the line. If I had other traders keeping track of markets for me, like that one fucking guy. Do you guys ever Did you guys ever see that one guy on YouTube? God damn it, what was his name? He has a million monitors in his, I kid you not, a couple 100 monitors in one big ass room. And he's like looking at everything, and then he's got these two dudes, these two young guys working for him, and he's just fucking pointing. He's just pointing at shit, telling him when to go long and short in this, and he's just standing there looking at all these screens. Oh god, that's kind of what I need. So yeah, correlations, yeah, it does work. So getting back into checklisting, which boosts clarity. Hopefully this inspires you guys to do something. I don't know. It's starting to build a narrative for me. It's, again, the system itself, the way it's being displayed. We're working on it, all right? And if you guys want to test it, you can get in the TradeCraft Discord and just let us know you want to test this, and we'll let you test it. So we got channels, which can be very reliable at times, and then we have the reclaim. If you've watched my channel, I fucking constantly harping on go watch the reclaim and slip video, and that one has like 8,000 views on it because I tell everybody in every fucking video, go watch the reclaim and fucking slip video. Do I still have Sierra charts up? I do. So, reclaims, hard moves. These hard moves up tend to get retraced at some point. Hard moves up, they tend to retrace them. Sometimes it's immediately happening. Sometimes it's the market builds a little bit of resistance. Like right here, you can see it pivoted about 4 times. Sometimes they do partial takebacks. However, they tend to take those back. Is a channel edge? No. Is a reclaim edge? No. Is a range edge? No. These are all contextual cues. And in my opinion, the edge is being able to put together a narrative, again, on multiple time frames, and getting multiple factors of support in the same fucking direction. One of my friends who I did NLP classes with, her father was an arbitrage trader since 1987, and he did it through banks. He can't trade retail style. He has to go through a bank. He told me the best traders have the best stories. Plain and simple. It is about a narrative. And if you guys are sitting here and you're not sure what's going on, odds are the trade won't be as good. I really do believe the best stories are when you get a good trade. Now, being like, I mean, here's the thing. If you're newer or some shit or less experienced, and you're like, oh, the news, not really, man. I think it needs to be a little more technical than that. I don't know. It's tough for new guys. It's tough for new guys because there's just so much you gotta fucking learn. You gotta go through all the seasons. You become the problem. You don't realize you need a review. I feel bad for people that are getting into this, to be fair. I think once you've been doing it for a couple of years and you've gotten your fucking ass absolutely fucking handed to you, I think that's a rite of passage. And you got to go through that to understand. I think you really need to fuck up a lot. Hopefully you're not doing it with live money or some shit. And if you are, it's a small account. But I think you need to fuck up a lot. Because a lot of me knowing what to do is me making that mistake a lot. to know, hey, don't do that. This could be bad. So, and I don't think there's any shortcut in that. Steven Kajian or whatever. Yes, that guy. That's the guy. Yeah, you do, and I've done it with a large account. I have a buddy who lost $500,000. I told him I'm like, you know, you're not getting that back, right? He took a long break. I got him into this mental shit, and he's been just going balls deep in this mental journey of trying, and that's what he might need. Sometimes trading just opens a whole nother door, and you go down a crazy path, which I have. Oh, you belong to a service? I'm not familiar with this service. It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on it and stuff. But anyways, coming into this. So we have the reclaim. So you have a top side reclaim, a bottom side reclaim. Typically, if reclaims on the bottom side are not getting retraced, or probably in a trend. Now I want to know, is the top side reclaim, how are they taking it back? Are they taking them clean? So are these like reclaims being like instantly taken back? Most of the time that's not the case. If that is the case, then I want to lean into that. Sometimes they do partials. Like I think it was yesterday they were doing partials. So, meaning they take half of the reclaim and then they pivot out. Or are they doing resistance before they take it? So, does the market rip up and then kind of float? And then they take it back? And if I'm having reclaims taken on the top and bottom side, it's a dual-sided market. Meaning, I could trade reclaims both directions. So that's what that means. It's like, okay, you can go either fucking way. Liquidity check. These are going to be like flat tops, flat bottoms. If you've ever traded a 1 second chart, you will know how notorious, even a 30-second chart. Let's go to where it's like the market was actually open. The market actually died today. But it gets really flat. You can see it like pivots to the tick. And it's like, oh, they're holding an offer there. They're not fucking holding an offer there. It will go bid here. But for whatever reason, a one lot won't even hit the offer above. So when you see these flat spots, they're not reloading or iceberging all the time. It's actually going bid there at times. It's just no contracts come in. And the fact the market on such a low time frame pivots to the tick at times. It's almost like there's traps being set up. So for me, these are liquidity areas. And higher time frame ones are nice, like the 5-minute time frame. When me and Chronic were trading together, I think there was a liquidity, yeah, right here. See how perfectly fucking flat it is right here? Perfect flat. They wicked it. But for me, that's still a valid liquidity zone. So how are liquidity zones being treated? So there's a couple of scenarios with liquidity, and leaning into liquidity on the different time frames can be really good. It's not reliable every day. So let me explain. So you have top side liquidity, top side, bottom side liquidity, bottom. So double bottoms, triple bottoms, top side, triple tops, quadruple tops, whatever, right? Is the top side holding? Do we keep putting in these flat tops and then the market goes down? If so, that's a short, a piece of contextual cue that is telling me there just might be a short here. I don't necessarily go short. Like, if this is the only thing I got going on right here, it's not good enough. Now, if we have a channel and they've been reliably breaking down, so for example, we'll run the flow chart. Let's say we have channels. The up channels are reliable. We'll kind of just get rid of shit. And then we have our liquidity, and the top sides have been holding short. Well, I have these two short signals. That, in my opinion, boosts the probability, especially if it's kind of happening in the same area. So we're channeling up. We hit a flat top. Historically, during the session, multiple other flat tops have been holding. And then these channels have also been reliably breaking down. Well, now I have two of these things going on at once. That is multiple factors of support. That boosts the probability. I did, and then he asked, why are you leaving? I told him it's just too much mental for me and too much trading. He trades all day. Yeah, that's intense. How do you handle losing streaks in a day? Great question. Let me fucking hack up along. It was raining, so my allergies are all fucked up. What's funny is I live near Austin, Texas, and a lot of fucking people after the pandemic all moved out here, and now everybody's fucking leaving and our real estate prices are going down because it's hot 6 months out of the year and you have allergies the whole fucking time. But as a native Texan, I enjoy suffering here. Although I did really enjoy Washington. So how do you handle losing streaks in a day? It depends. It really depends. Am I tilted? Which doesn't happen that often. Is it? Usually it's going to be a lack of patience that's killing me. So lack of patience is what's killing me. I got stats on that. Or maybe I don't know, man. I can get into some... I mean, if we look at my trading, maybe we can take a gander. I think this would be easier for me to do, actually. It's always different. Let's like kind of go day by day here. So this will be yesterday. Let's go to today. Today didn't have any losing streaks. It was all winning. Yesterday, now if you're talking about like I'm losing, if I lose 2 days in a row, I'm in a fucking slump and there's something going on and it's me. When I'm losing, I usually know why I'm losing. So the problem gets remedied relatively quickly. Like, this was yesterday. Let's see. We did get into some problems. So we were up pretty early in the morning, and then it started to take a dump to minus 325. So that would not be a losing day. Let's go to last Tuesday, because I told you guys how that I did lose on that specific day. Well, that does not seem right. There should not be one trade here. That seems very odd. Was it last Wednesday? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying. That was a one and done session. Was it last Tuesday or was it last fucking Wednesday? There it is. Last Wednesday night, minus 977. That was a losing day. I just started to get tired and fatigue kicked in, and I'm like, I'm done. So I don't know what you mean. How do I deal with like a losing, multiple losing days, a losing streak intraday, or like multiple losing days? I really don't have multiple back-to-back losing days because I review, and when I review the session, I'm like, oh, this is how I fucked up. Reflect on it, and usually I don't make that mistake the next day. If it's a losing session, if I'm losing back-to-back in the session, which does happen a lot more frequently than one would think. Let's see if this is... That's Friday. That was a one-and-done session. Bullshit. These are all fucking one-and-done sessions. Give me a minute, guys. Oh, yeah, there's a fucking bug on here. Yeah, see, this is multiple days. Let me double check. And if there's a problem, I'm going to have to fucking report it. There you go. See, we're kind of getting to the shit right here. Right, 1 loss, 2 losses. We got some problems going on. It really depends. If I'm taking multiple losses in a row, that's most likely because I do have good losses, but it's rare. Usually if I'm taking a loss, I did something fucked up, like I was in too early. I don't know. I just know what the problem is. How do I handle it? I figure out why that happened. And go, oh, well, fuck. This is what I did wrong. And don't do that again, usually the next day. That's one thing if you don't know what's going on. And you're just fucking getting hammered. That's a problem. But I know what's going on. Why did that trade lose? I know why it lost. Maybe I held too long. Maybe I was trying to go for a hold. This specific regime is not warranting that. That's where I fucked up. The next trade, I mean, we could look at some of these. Let's go to this, let's look at the tags on this. So this specific trade, I held too long. So apparently it was up 1,000 at one point, and I just let it come back to me. The next trade is red, so what that's telling me is this was impulsive. I didn't see a pattern, and I wasn't gathering enough information. And I had a slight urge to trade. So there was a bit of FOMO creeping in. And typically I'm tagging this shit up here live. So when I'm like tagging live, I'm like, okay, well, I'm feeling very impulsive. And then I get aware of it, and I try not to do it. It all revolves around awareness. How do I handle it? Well, I'm constantly diagnosing myself. I'm constantly looking at what my trades are telling me. What are the tags? Sometimes I just have a complete shit show of a session. But I review it. I'll reflect a lot on it. And typically I don't have that problem the next day. Now, if you're less experienced and you don't quite have edge yet, that's a different story. This next trade, these are all yellow, so this is telling me there's a management problem. Held too long. Again, so 2 of those. Trade fucking 4, held too long again. Trade 5, I needed to hold more. Then we had a big-ass win. What was this goddamn session? See, and there's like literally a screenshot. Let's see this bad trade. What did I do wrong on My entry, my exit. Well, these red channels on this specific session, these were historically breaking up. I didn't see that. See, did not see pattern. Not gathering enough information. I kind of rushed in. And I did make a tick on it. But it's still a bad trade. This trade, my entry was here. What is this, a long? It's a long, 30-second long. I held too long. So my entry was here on the breakout of this. These channels don't break out and go to infinity and beyond on this specific session. I'm saying the channels have been very reliable this session. My exit was down here. I just held it too long. What's interesting about that is, like, I think it's really good to be, like, looking at, are you holding too long, or are you, like, really judge your entries. If I'm getting a lot of hold more tags, which when VIX went high because of the tariff shit, I kept getting a lot of tags that said hold more, so I started to have to make that adjustment. If I'm getting a lot of held too long tags, then that's telling me the volatility or the moves just aren't following all the way through, so I need to start taking profits a bit sooner. Knowing how far to hold it, it's a dark art. But if I notice there's a trend where I'm holding too much, I need to be just scalping. And that's what this session was telling me. Hey, you're getting a good entries. They're all perfect entries. You're holding too fucking long on them. So that's how I make that adjustment. So it's not, and this is something's driving me fucking nuts right here. I gotta look at it. Give me a second here. Okay, that was a one and done session. Right here. I don't know why these don't have the... Oh, I remember this. This was a mistake trade. Okay, that's why they're not colored. So it's like, I just know what's the problem. So if you're getting into losing streaks and you don't fucking know why, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. And it's like, fuck, man. I asked so many traders, I'm like, somebody was telling me how they're getting fucked up on the futures desk live stream today. I'm like, well, I mean, they're like, what do I do? And it's like, well, are you reviewing? They're like, well, I never review. And it's like, shit, dude. Like, if you can't help yourself, I can't fucking figure it out. Now, I'll say this, in the past, when I would get into trouble, I mean, I struggled with more tilt back in the day. I would say I grew up with anger issues because my dad was a fucking just verbally abusive at times. He never fucking beat the shit out of me or anything. I did get the belt. However, he'd get fucking pissed. And his dad got pissed. And I've worked really hard for years to deal with that. I remember trading. There'd be just times where I'm trading. I'm fucking doing this to the screens and shit. You know what I mean? And I remember fucking going out in the living room once and started punching the shit out of a pillow because I didn't want to hurt my hand. You know what I mean? I had many, many, many losing streaks. I mean, in the beginning, that's all you fucking do is lose. And it seems like there's like no fucking silver lining. It's the work, man. I started tagging early in my trading, and I started to realize low volatility was fucking killing me. And high volatility is where I thrived. And then I realized I was over trading. So how do you... handling losing streaks now versus then? Back then, I would do a lot of fucking meditations and just visualizations and reflecting on it and trying not to get upset. Over time, I get desensitized. I've been blown out big. I remember taking a $10,000 loss on one trade. It took me 3 days to get out of it. And I've taken some pretty decent hits. Nothing quite that large. I've been in situations where it's been teetering around minus 10K. But I've dug myself, I wouldn't say I dug out of them. I just took good trades and got out of it. So I've gotten desensitized that when there's a losing streak, at this point, I just know how I know I can get out of it. I know I have the ability to get out of it. If it's 2 days in a row, that's a real big problem, which isn't happening. But it's just knowing why. Why am I fucking losing? What did I do? Let's see. I live in northern Alabama, and it gets cooking up here. Yeah, dude, I was in Washington, and it was like 60 fucking degrees, and it was so good. Out here, it's just like, fuck, you know, I go in the garage or something to do some work. But I'm used to it because I grew up here. A losing streak intraday. I'm curious about your losing streak. I guess this is turning into a fucking coaching session. I'm curious about your losing streak intraday. I have a feeling, is it the first loss of the day that's fucking you? Like, are you okay? Are you not okay with any losses? Can you trade well if you take losses? I want to know that. Or can you not handle losses? Maybe you can handle losses, but if there's 2 in a row, that's what's getting you. If that's the case, record this session. I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again. Watch that recording, and it should piss you off, or it should upset you, or whatever. Literally doing Wim Hof breaths, a meditation, listen to something. Headspace app, a guided meditation. Get calm and watch that. And if it starts to piss you off, get calm again and rewatch it. You guys have weird little fucking nuances. Like, I remember one of my nuances was I couldn't handle 5 break-evens in a row. During the Ukraine invasion in 22, there was a point where I kept getting break-even. And the moment it would be 5 break-evens, I would just fucking lose it. So you guys all have like a number. The first loss of the day is what gets you. 2 losses in a row is what gets you. Maybe the P&L being green and then you're swinging from green to red 2 different times. Maybe that gets you. You guys need to kind of narrow that down. Like, is there a weird little pattern there? And you need to sit with it, reflect with it, watch it, and pretend like, I mean, was it a bad trade? Are those losses bad or were they good? That's another thing. It's not like I can just give you an answer and you're like, oh, thanks, fat cat, and then everything's good. There's could be a fucking million fucking things going on. Like Chronic, for example, he's really good at what he does with trading. But a lot of him growing up, he had a give-up mentality. So he gave up a lot of things in life. So if he just had a losing streak, he would just shut down, and then we just make it worse. So what are those bad trades? Are they not? If you're ever in the Discord, like my actual, not the TradeCraft Discord, my other Discord, come in and talk about it in one of those live streams. Because on here I can't do it, but you can get in voice with me, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Kind of get to want to figure it out with you. So yeah. Do you have a loss limit? It depends. Am I holding the trade or am I scalping? What am I doing specifically? Because I flip between holding and scalping. And what is the volatility? When VIX was high, I'm risking more. You're talking 15 points of risk. You're talking 5-6 grand of risk at times. But I could make that. And here's the interesting thing. My let me show you my win rate. My win rate it's right here, 67%. And my risk reward is roughly 1-to-1. So the as far as like risk, it just depends on what I'm doing. What is the narrative? Is there going to be some problems? Yesterday on Twitter, I called out a short, but I sat in it and I was willing to risk about 15 points, and it went against me 10 points. And it went in my favor 15 points, but unfortunately, most of it immediately came back. So I cut it for a smaller win. It just depends on the trade. Every trade narrative just warrants a different type of risk. Because there's certain environments where they're faking out a lot. There's certain environments where the trades run a little bit cleaner. There's certain environments where it's like, well, I either grind ticks or I take risk. And what is the overall broader narrative? How do I want to get into it? It really is a fucking art form. Daily loss is usually around 3 grand. I am not hitting that. I'm willing to walk away. Like that one session, I was down 900. Sometimes I'll take a full 3 grand in the ass. Sometimes I'll take more, which is a little bit rare. It just really depends, though. I'll go past that 3K DD at times, but if I know what's going on in the market and I'm like good, I'm not fatigued, I do have a good read, but I'm getting shook out or I'm making a little too many mistakes or something like that, I'll put another trade on. So the way I do it isn't like this hard. It's exactly like this. But I can get away with that because I trade for myself. I don't have like these strict rules or some bullshit like that. If I was on a combine or something, I would size down, which is what we have Chronic do at times. So so usually I don't want to push beyond 2 hours. I'm starting to do a little more than 2 hours at this point. To answer this question, max amount of trades, I have to review these things, and if it's like 15 fucking trades, it sucks. I mean, if we look at the sessions, I mean, we can take a look. 7 trades there. Today was 3. Yesterday was a lot, actually. 12. I would say this is the higher end of the spectrum. Let's just pick some random fucking day. The 18th. 12. Let's do the 10th. Nothing, because I was on fucking vacation. Let's go to the prior month. 13th. Let's just pick some random fucking days. 1 trade. Sometimes I'll have a one and done session. The 16th. 3 trades. 19th. 8. So somewhere in that number, let's pick some random. February was pretty nuts. 19th. 13 trades. So, I mean, I don't really go into that 20 trade, like, deal because, like, I don't want to fucking review all that. And if I don't review for 2 days in a row, I don't trade until the review session is done. I review every fucking trade. I screenshot every trade. I tag every fucking trade. And I like it. It took a while to fall in love with that process. So that's kind of the trade number. Quick question. What should I start learning more of? Any recommendations? I'm still learning order flow and all that. Let me know. Price action. It's hard for me to recommend I mean, you guys do have the ability to learn from me for free. You can join the Discord. I stream every day. I do have a coffee as well, link in the description. All my recordings and with executions and exits and all my reviews are in there. I don't live stream my actual executions. Those are for the coffee people, but you guys can sit there and listen to me for free. And you can talk to some of the other guys. Price action. If you're trying to seek help outside of what I do, I don't really know anymore. And the way I look at price action is different. But what was interesting, I was on Reddit today. I'm on Reddit a lot. Day trading and trading Reddits. And there was one guy who has 8 years of experience like me. And he goes, I realize that simple price action and drawing lines is all I need. No indicators. And that's like what I'm doing. And it took that fucking guy 8 years to come to the same conclusion. Reading the bars on the chart, man. Again, like let's go to the what are we in July? So I recommend you understand the nuance of reclaims. So again, going through this checklist, I know we keep getting sidetracked, but it's a fucking live stream. Channels. Learn the nuances of channels. Reclaims, slips are about the same thing. Liquidity. So flat tops, flat bottoms, they can be breaching. How do those react? What are the behaviors? Compression. This is like little wedges going up. Typically when you see a little wedge, it may break up to the upside. If it fails, that can tell you something else, which this is where we were in the checklist. Compression. Top side is holding long. Top side failing possible. Short. Compression on the bottom side looks a little different. And then just knowing, are we in a range? Are we in a trend? Are we in value search? A value search mode is like, it's not a range. It's not a trend. It looks like the price action is making no sense. And being able to just put together the narrative and reading the price bars like a word in a book. I do my own thing. I really don't know where to go to learn. Maybe that one fucking guy, that old guy that does just price action. Everybody knows him. Some old guy. Just Google old guy price action. I'm sure he'll show up. Also, what charts are the best? I see you use normal candles. I'm trying to see what charts. I use price over time. These are modified number bars right here. If we press F6, it is number bar study on Sierra chart, and from this red up, you can always like screenshot this or whatever. These are the settings. It's kind of a hack, but it looks like the auction vista on Jigsaw, which I like, and it shows you each tick. So you can see how it's separating each tick. So on my 1 second, 10 second, it's kind of like this. Other than that, it's bars. I like open close bars, which I don't use I don't use this shit on the higher time frame. Like this modified number bar study. It doesn't make sense to look at this on a 30-minute chart because it's such a big chart. I don't need to know every tick. I personally I don't like candlesticks. I like open closed bars. I don't really need to see the open and close on it. I don't think it fucking matters. I don't think wicks on a candle matter. I don't think where the bar opens or closes matter. I like these. They're thinner. And it's kind of nice to see where it might have closed or whatever. But what I like about just regular old bars, the open is always on the left, the close is always on the right, like that little nub. Whereas candlesticks, like, they're inverted. Green candlestick, the close is on the top, the open is on the bottom, and in a red one, it's flipped the other way. I just like simple fucking bars. They're thinner. I can put more in there. I don't want to see the body of the fucking candlestick. But like on the 1 and 10 second, these little, this, which is basically time, price over time. 30-minute chart, 5-minute, 30-second, 10-second. Not really using a lot of 10 seconds this day. In the 1 second, I might go to a 3 second. If volatility gets really high, I might go to a 3 second. So between 1 to 3 second. And all it is you're zooming in, right? Like, I might not be able to see channels on a 5-minute chart. There might be like some channels right here. But when I go on the 1 second chart, I can see the actual, like, let's see, a channel or some shit. See, there's like a range right here. I may not be able to see that. Let's see if there's like an actual fucking channel. A little bit of compression right there. A clean reclaim right here. See how like thin it is and it dumps really hard? They retraced it. Let's see. There's a little channel here. Like on a 5-minute, I'm not going to be able to see that. So it's just kind of like zooming in and just sort of keeping the time frames separate. Like, is the higher time frame in a range, but the smaller one's in a trend? And just building the narrative. So that's kind of my speech on it. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. It just works for me. I see you don't use that. So it was last week. I made consistent wins every day and lost it all in one day. So this is the guy who's talking about the losing. I lost it all in one day because I got overconfident. I tried to make losses back in a short time. That's your revenge trading. So what's happening, I'll show you exactly what the fuck's happening here. Are you okay with the P&L? I'm not okay with the P&L. That's what happened. I have a video. Let me actually pull it up. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I definitely fucking recommend it. So here's my channel. Go to the video tab. Go to... where the fuck is it? I'm like sleeping in the bed with a fucking... This one. Ideal trading emotions. It sucks it's going to play an ad. Oh, no, it's not. So, I talk about the 3 ideal trading emotions in here. You have patience, contentment, and calmness. And it's like a 3-legged table. If you're contentment, you're not okay because you took a series of losses, so you were not content. If that table leg collapses, your focus is going to fall off the table. Chances are you were not patient as well, so your contentment and your patience went right out the fucking window. You may have been pissed too. I don't know. But the thing is, when you're like fucking losing your shit, the blood flows away from the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain with impulse control. There's just a point where it's too late, unfortunately, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's really about preventative maintenance. It's about not even getting in that mindset to begin with. So be aware, like, hey, man, the P&L is pissing me the fuck off. And the more you tag that or sort of deal with that situation, and then, like, I mean, there's something about let's just kind of like look. Let's look. Let's do a little fucking looky loo. Okay, so contentment is a bad one. Let me just go to a new. Let's go to this is my little test deal. So, for example, content. Let's say I'm not okay with the P&L and I want a revenge trade. That's what it sounded like you did. So, I'm not okay with the P&L. That is what it's done to my trading overall. For me, patience is what kills me. Here's what happens when it's starting to bother me, because I have like 1 through 3. It's starting to bother me. That's doing just as bad. So if my P&L at all is bothering me or I'm not okay with it, this is the performance overall. But look what happens when I'm just okay with the fucking situation. I do good, right? For me, patience is the real, and that's the thing. You have a lack of patience. You're not okay with the shit. You're not okay with your P&L. And since you're not okay with the P&L, you start to become not patient. Here is my patience. This is the one. This is a big one. There's 74 trades. It's cost me $45,000. I've been using this journal since November 5th. When I have a slight urge to trade, it's cost me 11 grand. When I'm like, oof, oof, oof. It's not like I just do it. And when you just filter it out and you're like, fuck. It's just, there's something about looking at that every fucking day. And it's just something about those colors, because red's bad. It's just like, all right, I got to do something about it. Let's see. Great stream. Thanks a lot. I hope the move went well. Yes, how's the new place? It's pretty good. My cats aren't dragging in the animals. Because where I lived, it had a big field. So they were bringing snakes, lizards, fucking mice. So when they go outside, it's a neighborhood. It's quiet. I live with my girlfriend now. I'm closer to where I usually hang out, do stuff. So it's been good. I enjoy the trading room's a little bit different. So far, so good. Nice to be in a fresh environment, I guess. Trading is 90% mental. Link, please. Never mind, I see the video. I still have to find a proper way. Yeah, I'm going to join that coffee shit, too. Seems like I could. I do want to disclaim the coffee. It is. So I timestamp all the trades in the narrative, so you can go watch the trades, and if you just want to watch the review, you can watch the review. But I mean, sometimes it's like hours of footage every fucking day. The best thing to do is just, I don't know. One of my prop traders was a long-time coffee subscriber, and he watched every one, as well as a YouTube video, and he was doing really well, and then he had surgery, and he fucked up. And he took a tremendous amount of notes. But I'm hoping that I can. It's a lot of footage, and sometimes it's boring. But I'm hoping that through this method here, with the checklist, you guys start to understand the system more. So now when I do the coffees, you're watching me run through this. So that way you guys can understand the system better. And you're like, okay, well, this is kind of how it works. So it's going to get better once this checklist is fleshed the fuck out. I still have to find a proper way to record my trades. I'm recording, saving my videos locally. There's something called OBS. Gamers use it to stream for free. You can stream to YouTube. Whatever this account is, just unlist or privatize the video. And what's cool about the journal, at least this, is because you can, let's just go here. Let's go to the second or whatever. What I like about this is I just post the video in here, and the fucking journal, like, it knows exactly where all the trades are, so I can, like, watch them immediately. So you see the entry going in at 45s right there. So when I have, like, an A+ tag or some shit like this, I can go into the playbook section and I can rewatch the footage without digging it out. The free way of doing it is you can timestamp the videos. So you should be able to export a spreadsheet, look at your time entries, figure out where in the video the first trade is executed. So it might be 6 minutes into the video. And then you can do some spreadsheet math, timestamp the videos, and you can find all your trades really quick. So you don't have to sift through footage. So I think doing the YouTube method is really good because when you're putting the timestamps in the description of the video, it's acting like chapter markers and it's jumping to the trade. So OBS, it's free, open source. It's not sketchy software at all. All the streamers use it. I use vMix, which is paid. Just stream it straight to YouTube. So that's what a lot of traders are doing in my community. And what's cool is, like, it's instantly available. We can share shit with each other and figure out where things are going wrong. And it's not taking up space. No indicators for me either. I didn't start that way, though. I think I should be able to use YouTube to record my trades. Al Brooks, that's the guy. The old guy, Al Brooks. I'm trying to catch up on this. I watched this guy called Day Trader Next Door, and he takes scalps on ES off of important levels, such as previous day open. Does that work too? I think it could. What works and what doesn't? What edge actually works? That's a fucking tricky question. Okay, you want to know what edge works? Okay, check this out. I'm going to do a little magic trick for you, right? Do you see my thumb right here? I'm going to move it and then put it back together, but it's okay. That's an optical illusion, right? Some of you may have figured out what I did. Some of you, it's like, when I do it to kids, they're like, what the fuck, right? All I'm doing is this. So when you go see a magic trick, like really good magic, it looks like fucking magic. They saw the lady in half, and you're like, how does she fit in there? You know it's all an illusion. Edge is sort of an illusion. And I have a video, which I will share with you guys. Edge, like when you're looking at certain things, I might see something and you just don't. And just because you don't see the magic trick doesn't mean that whatever's happening there doesn't exist. Okay? I have a really good video. It's called The Iceberg of this one, Edge Explain, right here. It's, it's not too far in the video playlist. I really touch upon Edge. I think Edge is many things. For me, building a good narrative using multiple time frames and multiple factors of support and being clear about what is potentially happening is my technical edge. Now, being able to manage it is another skill set in itself. Being able to manage well is edge. Having the ability to not let your psychology fuck with you. Like, there's a point where you guys just unravel, and if you can not let that happen, you would be good at it. Some of you might be consistent, but you're getting in the way. Some of you just may not have any technical edge. I think the edge is really complex and deep, hence that video, which is an iceberg of edge. So to answer the question, I know plenty of people who do previous day opens. They do overnight gaps. I personally don't do that. I've done it in the past. I just don't do it. I've figured out my own methodology. I mean, dude, it takes you fucking years to like sort of develop a system that resonates and fits with you, by the way. I think now the traders that I'm seeing a lot of success with are scalping. Lance Breitstein even talks about a lot of the traders he works with that are successful are scalpers. This doesn't mean go pick up ticks or whatever and just look at a fucking DOM. I put in a lot of, like, I will analyze the market for 20 minutes and then take, 4 ticks. Actually, today it was just 4 tick scalps, and I did fine. Again, if you were here at the beginning of the video, I think being able to predict the next few seconds is a lot easier. So you can use those levels and shit, but I couldn't tell you, man. And here's the deal. I have traders like Chronic who are sitting with me, trading with me, but we're taking trades at the same different areas, or if we happen to get in at the same tick, we manage it completely different. And he knows the system pretty fucking well at this point, but he just lacks the years and years and years and years and years of experience. Edge is also learning what not to do. So does that shit work? I think anything could potentially work. It's just like, I don't know. Do you see the optical illusion or not? Do you see the magic trick? Does it make sense to you? Best trades have the best stories. If you're just kind of going through the motions to learn from this guy, you're going to have to just stick with it until it resonates. And what you also got to understand is this guy's got fucking, I don't know how many years of knowledge. There's a lot of things going on subconsciously that he's processing that he doesn't realize he's processing, and he's only able to share a fraction of what he's saying. And as humans, you guys only can retain about 10 to 15% of information being presented to you anyways. It really does take repetition to be able to, like, let it sink in. So it really fucking depends, man. Does that shit, I don't know. It probably doesn't work for me. If I spend the next 10 years looking at it, it might actually fucking work for me. I can't tell you, man. I really can't tell you. I can't tell you. Are you fucking it up? That's also the thing. Are you doing what you're supposed to? Are you fucking it up? Are you managing it like shit? Are you having psychological issues? That all skews your results. I want to incorporate that. I'm assuming the best way to figure it out is just test it out for myself, right? Yeah, you need to really commit, though. And it's going to have a lot of nuances, man. I'm going to tell you guys this. There is no... Every fucking setup is different. Every goddamn setup is different. I've taken plenty of channel trades in my career. But they're always different. The higher time frames are different. The price action leading into it is different. How far the market dumped, went up, was it sideways? It's all different. So when you're trading these levels, it's always going to be a bit different. When you trade those levels, I encourage you to get a good beat on other time frames. I went through the checklist with you guys. That's what I'm looking at. I do take order flow into consideration as well, though. Like, is it thin? Is it thick? Are they spoofing? Are they not spoofing? Are they reloading? Today we had a weird guy I would have to log into something which I don't want to do. Let me go into this Discord message and I'll show it to you guys. There was some weird order flow today. Where are you? Right here. This is a heat map. There was this large order that was just floating a few ticks away from the price action. And then the motherfucker, there was a lot of reloading. It's like, oh, that's odd. What is this guy doing? I might not want to be. And when there's weird order flow, that's kind of abnormal. Typically, I don't want to trade around that because that guy is probably doing something to move the market. It was very algorithmic how it was pulling and pumping. So, if you're going to commit to it, commit to it. And are you the problem? Are you not managing it well? Or do you not know the nuances to it? And it's going to take a lot of getting fucked up before you start to figure it out. Just embrace the suck. Embrace the failure because that's how you're going to learn. Experience is what you get when you didn't get what you originally wanted. Because I'm telling you, if you're trading these levels and they're just fucking working and you're getting beginner's luck, that's not good. If you're winning and you don't really know why, oh, it's the overnight high. Well, that's not good enough, in my opinion. What was the price action doing leading into that? So, I don't know, man. I can never really give, like, just a straight-up fucking answer. And I know that's fucking annoying, but it's just, it doesn't exist. And I'm constantly, not to blame you or anything, I'm just constantly faced with people who are like, how do I know when to do this? It's like, that's not how any of this works. It's a fucking art, a dark art. And then it's messy. Let's see what you guys are saying. Learning volume profile, learning to read a DOM and footprint, useful or not? I don't use profiles. I don't use footprints. Let me actually go in here and I'm going to kind of power through this shit. So if you go to my live tab, trading is gray, evolution, misconception. So this one right here, episode 8, goes over order flow, why I prefer price action over order flow. And then there's another video called why I don't use, episode 4, why I don't use volume profile anymore. And footprint. I don't think it's useless. I just don't use it. And I explain my reasoning behind that. So there are episodes, episode 8 and 4. Episode 4, I go over profile. So if you want to check that out, I get into that in depth, pretty hardcore. I don't want to tell you guys anything is useless. Because there are people, again, that are pulling off magic tricks, and I just can't see it. But I know that I just think there's unlimited amounts of ways to do this. I think if you stare at it fucking long enough, you just get a feel for it. I mean, look at Linda Raschke. She trades fucking Bollinger Bands, for fuck's sakes, or whatever that indicator is. I don't see it, but she sees it. Scalping off key levels work, but since I started doing that, I've been realizing that I can hold my trades more. That's what you need to do. Figure out how many more ticks on average you can get. So kind of look at those, be like, can I get an extra point? Can I get an extra point? Can I get an, just push it a little more. Don't go to the extreme ends of the earth, but get a little more out of it. Who do you mean when you say they retraced it? Who do I mean when I say they retraced it? The market, the fucking collective consciousness that is the market. I guess. And I don't know. Corbs called me out on this once. He goes, "Why do you keep saying we?" I don't know. Part of me feels like I'm a fucking... you got the voices in your head. We. Me, myself, and Irene. I don't know. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. Yeah, you can stream all your sessions on YouTube private unlisted with OBS. Let's see, that's some old shit. I'm late to this. What's life like as a real day trader? Are you a full-time? Yes. I've seen so many fake IG gurus. LO, it's refreshing to see people like you. I pay myself once a year out of the account. I live well below my fucking means. Because I am thinking of what do I need to do to get out of trading. I mean, there's guys who made millions doing this in the pit days. They blow all the money, and then they're fucking poor. And then they can't trade anymore. What if I go blind or some shit? So, I pay myself just a modest salary every fucking year. And it might go up this next year, once a year. Obviously, TradeCraft makes a little bit of money, not much, because I pay employees, and I rather reinvest into it and make it better. That's just a passion project. The coffee makes a little bit, not much. And then ad revenue is absolutely fucking atrocious. You're talking like $130 a month. It's getting worse. But also people run pop-up blockers. I understand. Ads suck. But that's a little bit of extra income. It's not a lot of fucking money. I think there's a misconception that somebody like me, you make a lot on ad revenues or selling some other shit, and I really don't. TradeCraft, after like fees and paying the employees and shit, last month was the best month. I walked away with like a K or some shit. That's a lot of work because I'm marketing, fucking talking to people about it. I pay the people that work with me pretty good. So that way they, they're helping me build it, helping me do all this other bullshit. I own a rental property that I rent out to college students per room. Live a modest life. Drive a used fucking car. I don't know if you guys ever seen, who the fuck was it? Jeff Bezos. There's a fucking, somebody interviewed him. They're like, you're worth billions. And he's driving this old fucking Honda Accord. And they're like, why are you driving this? And he's like, it's a good car. There's like a video called, sorry to get close to the mic. There's like a book called like Millionaire Next Door or some shit. And it talks about how modest they are and shit. So when it comes to that IG flashy shit, it's not just trading, by the way. It's other industries. It's real estate. It's everything. It's everything. So all the bullshit you guys are encountering with trading, it's not just this industry. It's everything. And the internet is just getting worse. So what is it like? I mean, I go eat, I'll go out to eat. Go have nice dates with my girlfriend. Don't have to, don't worry about what that costs. But a lot of what I do is like I sit here in this fucking room most of the fucking time. So weekends, I put it down. Sometimes I'm working. I'll go enjoy life. I roller skate. I enjoy roller skating. I do a lot of fucking sick ass tricks and shit. Hanging out with friends, the occasional vacation. But what is it like? It's not as cool as you think. And to buy a Lamborghini, as much as I'm a car enthusiast, it's a stupid decision. I need to be in, and everything's just getting more and more fucking expensive. So you make a little bit of fucking money, and then everything's substantially more fucking expensive. So like, it's a lot of just being here, and just doing this, and sitting in fucking the same T-shirt for a couple of days or whatever. I mean, I go change or whatever. But it's not that. It's just a job. It's about the trades. It's about trying to build a community. It's about trying to build a prop firm. It's trying to get other traders good. Which I don't think most traders are attempting to do that. Most traders aren't trying to cultivate. Because, like, the guys I coach, like Chronic, I've been doing it for fucking free. He gets paid. I get paid when he gets paid, which hasn't happened yet. So my position is unique. It's going to be different than yours. I don't know. It's not anything special, man. It's certainly not that IG bullshit. And that's definitely not what's happening. If I did that, if I upgraded my lifestyle substantially, dude, there'd be too much pressure to perform in the markets, and then I'm going to get in my head and choke and fuck up. And again, it's about trying to acquire assets that make me money. That way, one day if I'm like, I'm done with this, or something happens and I just can't trade the markets anymore because the regime just drastically shifts. I've seen regime shifts, dude. The fucking book thinned up after COVID, never got thick again. What if something happens and I just can't fucking trade it anymore? I'm real fucked then. So a lot of it is just kind of preparing myself for retirement. Nothing interesting or fascinating. So that's what's going on. And a lot of just being here all goddamn day. From the moment I wake up, I'll go eat, go outside, go for a walk, chill. Maybe I'll take a nap. Then I'm in here, and then it's the next fucking day. I'm in here all fucking goddamn day. It's kind of like in the NBA. A lot of players say that there's a lot of NBA players that don't give a fuck about the game. They just want the money and fame that comes with it. And other NBA players call them out in these videos and shit. You got to love the game, and you got to love the practice, the grind, the really sweaty, nasty bullshit where you're just sitting here reviewing. So it's not, and a lot of it is boring as fuck. A lot of it is just sitting here and nothing is happening. So it's very repetitive. It's mind-numbing as shit. I mean, there's times where I feel like I'm on this hamster wheel, and it's kind of like Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. He keeps waking up, and the day starts over again, and he keeps reliving this fucking loop. I suppose that's any job. That's this job as well. So what is it like? It's not as cool as you fucking think. I enjoy it, though. I enjoy doing these streams. I enjoy talking to the other. If I couldn't talk to other traders, I would fucking hate it. Trying to figure out how to get other guys good. That's kind of the obsession at this point. And obviously, reward comes with that. So, I don't know. Hopefully, that answers your question. You know, and as far as the influencer doing that, it works. The reason it works is because, like, and it's funny because they're like renting shit, or you can go to a studio where you look like you're on a fucking private jet or some shit. It works on young men. That's what it fucking works on. Because when it comes to selling something, it's like oxygen. How bad do people need that? Like, if you're selling a fucking, like, a fidget spinner, or, like, I got this, like, fidget tool, right? I could tell you guys about it, how cool it is, and how I love to just do this during the session. And you might be like, oh, that's interesting. But do you really need this? No. When people are showing this lavish lifestyle and stuff, it works because money is something everybody is looking for. Again, what you're selling is like oxygen. How bad do people need it? And that's why they do that. It fucking works, and it's going to continue to work. You guys can fucking hate it, but that's the game. And these guys are not going to go anywhere, and they're going to continue to grow. And do people get scammed? Yeah, they do. You got to make fuck-ups to learn. If you got scammed, learn from it. You know, I've made some fucking mistakes. I remember I went to a real estate seminar. I couldn't afford their fucking coaching, so they told me to pull out a bunch of credit cards. You know what I did? I pulled out $5,000 in credit cards. And then, here's the thing. I actually did what they told me, and I did have success. But at the same time, had I not done that, it was a real grind. That could have been a stupid mistake. Could it have been a scam? I don't know. I think it's important to look at the glass being a quarter full or a sixth full than mostly empty. If you're getting burned on shit, you're having, like, you get fucked on something or whatever, dude, you got to learn from it and move on. Same thing with trades. And you can only blame yourself, really, to be fair. So I don't really know how to speak on behalf of that other shit. It's just not as cool as you think. It's not as fun. Like if you sat here and did this shit every goddamn day, and the amount of pain, by the way, the amount of fucking pain and suffering to figure this out, I mean, it just really does come with time. It's just really doing this for years, for almost a decade now. And it doesn't feel like I'm making any goddamn progress. But now, as I look back on it, it's like, holy shit. Just doing that every goddamn day. The amount of pain and fucking suffering, the amount of times I wanted to quit, the amount of times I'm fucking freaking out. The amount of times I'm like, God damn it, do I have to go back to work? The amount of turmoil, frustration, pain, suffering, just losing sleep over some of this. Does that sound like a good fucking time to you? Does it seem as cool as you? It's not what you think it is. Anything. It doesn't matter what you want to be. You want to be a carpenter, you want to be a race car driver. It's not what you think it is. Not you romanticize trading, and then when you really get into the shit, it is not what you think it is. It's not as cool as you think. You really don't provide fucking value to society. You're essentially gambling. It's a skill set I don't really know if you can take into another fucking job. It's also finance, by the way. When I was in real estate, I worked with a bunch of pieces of shit because getting a real estate license is a low barrier to entry. So who do you think gets into that? The only people that aren't allowed in real estate in Texas are felons who committed fraud. Other than that, you fucking rape somebody, no problem. Come on in. That might be different now, but like, what is it's finance. What does trading attract? Pieces of shit. And unless you've worked in an environment where you're just dealing with fucking shitty fucking two-faced people, that is the game. That is who you work with. You got to just learn to ebb and flow and work the system. You can hate it. You can hate how the rules are, or you can learn how to fucking play it. So, I don't know. That was just a fucking tangent about that. Price action like one of those Magic Eye pictures from the 90s. Yeah. I haven't started executing lately, just studying, but I guess I need to go through the fucking motions and losing. And oh, fuck, if you're new, dude. I assume you're newer. Hold on. I haven't started executing lately, just studying. Look, I have not seen anybody pull it off in 2 years. I just want you to be aware. Just do the work. Review those motherfucking trades. Tag them somehow. You're probably not going to pull it off the first year, the second year. If you can get onto a professional prop desk, you probably have a better shot at that. If I was to give any of you guys advice, seek actual, not online funding, seek actual professional environments and relentlessly try to get hired. Become a market maker. I know a few guys who've done that. So that might help shortcut it a little bit. Is there much merit in having such a mechanical strategy with black and white rules? Or does that just not work as well as pure discretion? Or does it not even matter? I don't know, because I've always been discretionary. I have thoughts and opinions on pure mechanical. The problem with pure mechanical is, like, yesterday, I had a lot of trades go really far in my favor. And I realized the price action was telling me that it's probably coming back. And had I not cut those, they would have blown me out. And I cut them for, like, wins. Like, I left like $7,000 on the table on one trade, like 4 on another. In my opinion, mechanical is put it on, it hits the stop or it hits the target. I don't think that's good, because, especially in futures, because the price action shifts and it can tell you something's happening. I think you're going to lose more if you do that. But I don't know. There might be a pure mechanical way of doing things, but I think you're going to have to go higher time frame, longer holds, swing trading. I don't know. I just know discretionary, and there's just a reason I do that. Because I am wrong a lot, but the way I manage it and scalp a couple of ticks makes the difference. Let's see. Do I have to invest in stocks or other assets? Do you invest in stocks or other assets long term? No, I'm a little freaked out about financial instruments. Even ES. July 3rd, 2019, we hit 3,000 for the first time. And I remember that. And it's been about 5-6 years since then, and we're already double. And the ES has been around since the 70s, or maybe not the futures version of it, but S&P has been around since, the 70s. And it doubled in like a 5-6 year period. That to me is freaky. I've thought of gold. I've thought of bonds. There was one point where I wanted to buy ES and hold it for good. It was coming out of COVID. We were in a range for like a year. And I knew it was going to blow out, and it was pulling back, and I just needed a day or two. And then it fucking went and never came back. Which that sucked. So it's just real estate. Right now it's just owning one property and building TradeCraft as well. So just investing in that business and trying to make the best product possible, trying to get other traders better. That's sort of the investment, I guess you could say. Building the account, I don't know. I'm just like holding stocks or some shit. It's just, I've dicked around with options. I've had a lot of troubles with them. So, a little freaked out about financial instruments, investing and holding in them. I've thought about it a lot lately, especially as the dollar sort of is losing its value. So, currently, there's not much going on. And the property I did buy, it was cash, so there is no mortgage on it. And that's probably what's going to happen again, is get another one cash and no mortgage on the fucking thing. And then just kind of keep doing that until I figure something else out. Do you have room dedicated for trading? If you do you have a room dedicated for trading? If you do you recommend it? There should be a link in one of these videos that goes to another YouTube that'll send you to a Discord called the Network Lounge. I'm in there all the time if you want to go in there. Or do you mean, do I have a trading room dedicated? I'm not sure. Embrace the suck. I'm so behind. I mean, you get good at risk assessment. I used to be in Guy Gentile's room years and years ago. In order to get his hand off the mouse and to not overtrade, he would flick through a $10,000 wad of $100 bills. Yeah, there's weird shit. You know how I wake up early in the morning? Behind this green screen, there is a lockbox right down here where I cut out the back of it. There's an outlet. There's an alarm clock. I lock the alarm clock up. I go to my mailbox, and I live in a neighborhood where it's like a communal mailboxes. It's not in front of your house. So I got to walk around the block. I put the key for the lockbox in there. And since I live with people now and I wake up before them, my phone goes off. I wake up, I go for a walk or a jog, get the key, come back, turn off the alarm clock before it goes off endlessly by unlocking the lockbox. I think doing weird shit like that is very beneficial to changing habits. Set up a little mouse trap or whatever the fuck you gotta do. I've had a Pavlok bracelet that shocked me. For bad habits, all sorts of shit. Risk assessment is a good skill for a lot of jobs and just good life skill in general. Low paying jobs have nice college colleagues. Office jobs have middle managers breathing down your neck doing bullshit day in, day out. With trading, you don't need to talk to someone if they're an asshole. Yeah, but on the other end of the spectrum, you can get really isolated, and there's really nobody you can talk to about this other than another trader. That can be problematic too, because guys get isolated as fuck. It's like when I serve tables, standing up all the time sucked. But sitting in front of a computer all the time fucking sucks. You know? I'm not that new. I did the whole SD and liquidity sweep shit, like common trading stuff. I'm a year and a half into trading, but I got into level 2, and it's a fucking trip, man, down the rabbit hole. Yeah. I think a lot of it is gamed. A lot of shit is hidden and stuff. They cut their fucking orders up. Physical room, thank you. Okay, so do you have a room dedicated for trading? If so, yeah. If you have the ability to have a dedicated room, I highly recommend it. If you're really gung-ho about changing trading habits, moving, or changing your environment, if the computer's in a different room or a different area, it just has a different feel. You're more likely to stick to actually changing something. I used to play Mega Man on SNES Simulator to wake my brain up. Yeah, for me, when I wake up, I'm like fucking angry for no reason, and it's like, I don't know, that wakey. I'm still kind of tired thing. I hate it, or I used to, but now I'm starting to like enjoy pain. What is that, a Damascus or whatever the fuck? So I just set up 2 screens for my trading. Anyways, guys, let's see, one for NQ and another one for ES, and to see multiple time frames like the small second time frame like you. Just before we get, 'cause this is fucking 2 goddamn hours, I gotta go somewhere. But I want to go over like building a narrative with you guys. Okay, so I said I would do this, and then it ended up not being that. So let's kind of run through this real quick, okay? So we're looking at a 30-minute. This is a range. It's a sloppy slip range, and it currently is breaking out. So this is how this would work for me. So we're gonna do range. It's a sloppy slip range. Is it breaking out? It is breaking out. Currently it's breaking out. I might add something in here to show that. So it is breaking out to the upside. What about compressions? There are no compressions here. It is all-time highs. There's really no liquidity up here. It's a high time frame, so a lot of this shit isn't going to be viable. So 5 minute. Five minute is roughly the same thing. The top of this line would be the top of the 30-minute range. So what are they doing here? Well, 5 minute is interesting because they are running a channel currently. Now, are these channels reliable? I don't know. I don't know on this time frame. So this is going to be on standby. What about reclaims? Well, look at these downside reclaims. They're taking partials here, here. There's really no upside reclaims, so we'll go reclaim, bottom side partial. It would be a scalp if I do go short. Top side doesn't exist. There is currently a channel. It could break. What about liquidity? There was no really true flat tops in this specific area. Was there any flat tops back here? Yeah, you're not getting any true flat areas other than here. So they're pivoting up in this region right here, and it is a bit of a micro range. But we'll look at that on another time frame. So that isn't reliable as well. So we'll just kind of pull these off. We know we're in a channel. So far, nothing's telling me shit. What are we doing in the 5 minute? Well, we're definitely in a fucking trend. Traditional long. So I know this is breaking. The 30-minute range is breaking. It could break for a measured move, which is the body width. We're in a trend long. Then I'm going to go into the 30-second. Which it drifted the whole... See how it kind of like made these like ranges and drifted up? They sort of steamrolled it. So here I would go to trend box walk long. So box walk's trend just is telling me that it is an uptrend, but they're putting in ranges as they continue to go up. Now notice these are getting merged. So we're getting a couple long signals on 2 different time frames. Is that good enough? I'm concerned about that. channel. Doesn't mean I want to fade it. If I'm going to fade it, I can fade a reclaim, but I'm going to have to scalp it, and there is no current. Well, there is a decent reclaim here. As far as the 30-second goes, is there a channel? Yeah, but they're not really reliable. They're not really present at this time. What about the reclaims on the 30-second? Partial. They kind of started to take the full reclaim here. So as far as reclaims go, bottom sides are partials. What about upside? They're taking a partial up here, but all the other reclaims they have taken to the upside. So top side, there's a little bit of resistance before they go, but this could change. Then I'm gonna skip the 10-second. What about liquidity on the 30? So are there flat areas? There was a flat area here. They breached it. Flat area. All the flat tops are getting fucking breached. It's in an uptrend. So when it comes to liquidity, top side breaching, possible long. So we're getting a lot of long signals, obviously. How would we time it? You have this range here. They're breaching this flat top. If we go to the 1 second. There is a bit of a micro range here. It's kind of fucking ugly. And they didn't break out on the bottom, and they're testing the top side of this. There's a clean reclaim here. We know that they took a partial reclaim here. What about back here? Not taking reclaims. They took that fully. So reclaims are not super reliable. Usually when you go down to a time frame like this, the reclaims are not super reliable. So what are they doing in here? They're ranging. And it's just a sloppy fucking slip range. Are there any channels present? Not really. What about liquidity? Well, you're getting flat spots. They kind of top tick there and it went down. Top tick goes down. There's another flat spot here. The thing is, it could top tick it and it could go down. What about bottom side? Bottom side. Are they holding pretty true? There they go. They're pulling this back, and they just kind of top tick. So they're range expanding here. It was really skinny here. They didn't quite blow it out. I think this is in a super sloppy area. If I was to go for anything, let's look at this. Really not too many channels present. We'll get rid of that. Reclaims, partial lows. This could be a good long here at 77s. Let's just take a mental trade, right? Assuming. Personally, I don't know what it's overnight, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So they're taking partials on the bottom side. Top side, they're definitely taking them when there's some EV count. Liquidity, the top side is holding. So that is kind of telling us there might be some problems here. But if we go through it, we have a lot of long signal. I would like to see other things. There's a pretty clean reclaim here. To the upside, what I don't like is this came back in and it is range expanding. The problem with what's happening is there's absolutely no volatility. If I'm in it at 77, which we would have probably got filled, I would only want to take maybe 3 ticks off this reclaim. So let's say we're in 77. We're up 2 ticks here. I don't know if I could actually get filled. Because here's the deal. The volatility is really low. If we go to my Obsidian flowchart, there is a checklist on here called What is the Volatility? And it tells me to scalp. I've yet to put it in this checklist. Still working through it. But that's how the trading decisions are getting made. Looks like it would have hit up there at 78. Would I have got filled? 77, 75s. Like I said, I want to take 3 ticks out of it. Because look at the average rotation. They're like fucking 2, 3 ticks. So what is your average rotation, you know? And we look at these are 5-point ranges here. Every strike price has like a yellow line. The average rotation is really bad. If the average rotation is really bad, I just need to be punting a scalp off of it. That's a really clean reclaim. And I just want to punt the scalp. That's it. 3 ticks. I would have probably got filled on the fucker. You know, on a 12 lot, you're looking at, what, 450? If we look at today's trades, I mean, they weren't shit. 400, so that's about, what, 3, that's 600's a point. This is about 3 ticks. That's about 5 ticks. You can do really good scalping with a little bit of size. The problem, though, is there's a point where I do struggle trying to get it in and shit. That's the problem, is scaling up size. You need, if you want to really be a big trader, you need to you need to scale up size, and in order to do that, you need to be getting in the bigger trades. And the bigger the trades, the lower your win rate goes. But that's kind of the procedure. We're gonna do shit where you can move these around and you can hide stuff. Some of the shit merges, you can decouple them and run through the checklist. For example, let's say the 1 second, where is it? It's kind of a bit of a shit show. This 1 second, we'll decouple it. It's a sloppy slip range. And let's say they're not breaking out for a measured move. They might be churning, so therefore it's range expansion. And then I can run through the loop again and go range. It doesn't have infinite loop yet. This is something we're building. Again, this is a prototype, but this has been very good for Chronic and I to gain fucking clarity, by the way. And you can if you want. I don't do it. Just so you guys see it, because we have a sale about to happen. We'll put this on there. You can add tags to the checklist. So let's kind of run it. What is this on? Liquidity top. Hold. So if I just go like liquidity, now look at my tags down here. Click that, and then boom, that got tagged. So it does work with tags as well. If you want to change the tag through your checklist system, you can. You can use it as a simple checklist to run through your tags, or you can do system building with it. But I think this is going to fix Chronic's problems. So far, so good. And for me, it's boosting the shit out of my clarity. And I promised I'd run through that on this stream, even though this motherfucker has been a long one. Let's see what you guys are doing. Thank you for another great stream. Yeah, shout out Fat Cat, you're a real one. Good stream. Just buy every dip, simple as that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I hope you're winning. I'm doing well. What are some must-haves on my charts? This is a long stream. I'll answer this, and then I ain't answering shit else. This, if you're on a 1 second chart, draw some lines. Have a modified Fibonacci tool so you can measure ranges. For example, this 30-minute range. From here to here, it's breaking out. A measured move would be 187 ticks all the way up here, but it may not go there. I mean, there's really not much on the charts. But anyways, guys, this has been way too long. I'll see you guys later.